This story is a story that you all probably know, and it's especially for the little ones out there. This story is a kind of scary story. Ooh, but not too scary, just a little bit scary, just scary enough. You see, it starts on this mountain that rose high up into the sky. There were rocks and boulders, stones, and towards the bottom there was scree, the detritus of the mountain, that shaly kind of stuff that when you try and climb up it, you find yourself sliding back, that kind of stuff. There was nothing that grew on this mountain apart from a few pieces of gnarly wood at the top. At the bottom of the mountain there was this river that flowed so hard that it wore down the rocks until it had created this huge chasm, this huge ravine, and the river was about a mile down. Now the only way to cross over this ravine was over this little wooden rickety bridge. Now on the other side there was another mountain, and that mountain rose high up into the sky too. But this mountain, there was grass and there were bushes, there were these beautiful flowers and trees. It was gorgeous over there. Well, you know what they say, right? The grass is always greener on the other side. That's where that saying comes from. It comes from this story. Well, up on the top of the Rocky Mountain, way, way, way up there were 3 billy goats. Gruff. Yeah, there were. There's a little one, there's a middle one, and there's a big one. Now, the big billy goat, Gruff, he loved those gnarly bits of wood, and that was his favourite thing. And there he was, eating. And then the little billy goat, Gruff, came along and right between his legs, and he started to eat on it too. And no. I like this. Why don't you go down the mountain, cross the wooden bridge to the other side where the grass is so much greener? Okay, said the little billy goat, Gruff. And he tripped and he slipped all the way down the mountain until he got to the bridge. And he started making his way over the bridge. And as he went over that bridge, his little teeny tiny hooves made a trip-trapping sound. Just like this. Trip-trap, 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 trip-trap. Now, can you do that with me? Can you go trip-trap, 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 trip? Even the grown-ups. Trip-trap, trip-trap, trip-trap. Even the teenagers. Trip-trap, 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 trip-trap. Over the bridge he went. Now, what these 3 goats didn't realise was that underneath the bridge there was a troll. And this troll, well, it wasn't like those trolls that you've seen on TV with like the purple hair sticking up that you might get on a keyring. No. This was a real troll. A troll made of bits of wood and twigs and earth pushed in and rocks pushed in. These things stank. They were nasty and they were huge. Eyes as big as saucer, nose as long as my legs, and just as hairy on the outside. So you can imagine what it must be like on the inside. Ooh. Well, there was his little billy goat Gruff going trip, trap, trip, trap, trip, trap across the bridge. And the troll was underneath this bridge, fast asleep. And the little trip, trap, trip, trap, trip, trap, trip, trap woke the troll up. And he was not happy. And he leapt up on top of the bridge. Who's that making all that ruckus? Who's that making all that kerfuffle? Who's making all that noise? Eh? Well, it's just me, the little billy goat Gruff. I'm making my way across the bridge to get to the other side where the grass is so much greener. No, you're not. Oh, you woke me up. I'm gonna eat you for breakfast, I am. Please don't eat me. I'm very skinny. You can see my bones through my skin, and I won't fill you up at all. In fact, I'm so bony, I might get stuck in your teeth, and that won't be very pleasant for you. I suppose you are a little bit skinny. And my brothers, they're going to be coming down later on, so maybe you could eat them. They're much bigger than me. The troll looked up and he saw the 2 billy goat Gruff up there. I mean, his eyesight wasn't that great, but he could see that they were much bigger than the little billy goat Gruff. All right then, go on, cross the bridge before I change me mind. And so the little billy goat Gruff, as fast as he could, over the bridge to the other side, where the grass was so much greener. And the troll went back under the bridge and went back to sleep. Well, the middle billy goat Gruff, he was up there at the very top of the mountain, and he started to eat those gnarly bits. No, those are mine. I want those. Go down and cross the bridge and get to the grass on the other side where it's so much greener. Okay, said the middle billy goat Gruff, and he tripped and he slipped and he skipped down the mountainside until he got to the bridge. Now, when he went across the bridge, his hooves were bigger, and so he made a slightly different noise. And his legs were longer, so it was a longer stride. And so when he went across the bridge, he sounded like this. Trip, trap, trip, trap, trip, trap. The troll had fallen back asleep, and those trip, trap, traps woke the troll up. And the troll was not happy. He leapt up on top of the there. Who's that making all that noise? Who's making all that kerfuffle? Who's making all that ruckus? Eh? 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 Well, it's just me in the middle of the go, Gruff. I'm making my way across the bridge to get to the other side where the grass is so much greener. Oh, no, you're not. Oh, I said goodbye to breakfast, but I'm not saying goodbye to lunch. I'm going to eat you up. No, please don't eat me up. My brother, he's coming down. I'm not very fat, and I've got, just my brother, he's much bigger than me, and if you were to eat me, well, I'd just spoil your appetite, wouldn't I? And then when my brother came down, you wouldn't be able to eat all him up, and that would just be a waste. I mean, why don't you wait for him to come down, let me go, and then you can eat all of my brother without spoiling your appetite, if you would, and then you can finish him off, and then when I come back across the bridge, I'll be much fatter then, and then you can eat me then. All right then. I suppose you are a little bit on the skinny side and your brother is a lot bigger. Go and cross the bridge before I change my mind. And the middle Billy Goat Gruff trip across the bridge as fast as he could. And the troll went back under the bridge and went back to sleep. Now the big Billy Goat Gruff, he had finished eating that last bit of wood. And so he danced and leapt over the rocks, over the boulders, over the scree, and when he went across the bridge, he walked like this: trip, trap, trip, trap, trip, trap. And of course it woke the troll up. And the troll leapt up on top of the deer! Who's making all that noise? Who's making all that kerfuffle? Who's making all that ruckus? Eh? 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 Well, it's me, the big Billy Goat Gruff. I'm making my way across the bridge to get to the other side where the grass is so much greener. No, you're not. No, you're not. I said goodbye to lunch. I said goodbye to breakfast, and I'm certainly not saying goodbye to supper. In you go. Be sensible. Stand aside. Be sensible. Stand aside. No, you're going to be eaten. Look at my hooves. They're like rocks. And my horns. He had remarkable horns. They were huge and they were sharp and pointy. My horns, they're like swords. Be sensible. Stand aside. Oh! Big old rocky hands. Big old sword-like horns. No, no. You think you're pretty hard? You think you're pretty tough? Come on then, stick up you. Come on, I'll sort you out. Oh, I'll sort you out. Well, the big Billy Goat Gruff, he lowered his horns and the troll was thrown into the river and he was smashed into 100 million pieces when he landed. And the big Billy Goat Gruff trapped across the bridge to get to the other side, where the grass was so much greener. Now, if those goats aren't fat by now, I don't suppose they ever will be. And Trip Trap Trout, this tale is out. The end.